it's April. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm gonna talk about just something that's really heavy on my heart. So January through March, I usually have a really hard time. I guess you could call it seasonal depression, whatever the case may be. I just get bluesy. I don't know if it's because the dopamine of the holidays has been to like a all-time high, and then all of a sudden we just crash and everything goes back to normal, except it's a new year. And so with the new year comes a new beginning. And I don't normally do like big New Year's resolutions. I just try to set goals throughout the year and get to those goals. So you can do that anytime, anywhere, not necessarily at January 1st, but nonetheless, I think just psychologically it's embedded into us that January 1st is a new start. And so therefore January through March can be a little difficult. So I was thinking today about how I think for me, a big thing is that I am a words of affirmation person. My husband's amazing, but he is not a person filled with words. He's more of an action person, which is great because acts of service is neck and neck with words of affirmation, but words of affirmation is definitely missing. I've taken on a new position at work that has, the position in and of itself should be affirmation enough that I'm trusted by leadership. I've got great responsibility. I've got an amazing team, but because you get trusted in that role, people can forget or just not even think about telling you you're still doing a good job. And I think each one of us at the core, we just want to know that we're loved and we belong and we're accepted and that we're doing a good job. I don't fear not being able to be in my role or, all the scary stuff that happens in workplaces. That doesn't really happen to me in my job, which is great. But I was talking to someone today at work and we were just saying that I think my tank is empty. And so, I found myself a couple of times throughout the past couple of days being like, what about me? Is anybody checking on me? Is anybody gonna check on me? And usually I'm not the person that people are gonna check on because I'm the person that's checking on everyone else and everyone else is coming to me for the advice. But every once in a while, if you are like this, we just need someone to check in on us and go, how are you doing? So I wanted to drop in really quick with a fast video and say, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What is on your mind? What are you struggling with today? And share a little bit of my own experience, which is that I'm feeling a little lost. Am I doing a good job? Am I at the level of expectation of what you were looking for? And obviously, you too, but am I okay? If you were sitting here saying that to me, I would say, absolutely, you're okay and you're all right and you belong. You are deserving. Keep doing what you know to be right. Keep serving the way you serve. Keep progressing and growing in your role the way you are. And at any point, you can always check in with someone and say, am I doing this to the degree that you wanted me to do it at? Which is what I will often do in my position because people aren't going to come to me most likely and tell me unless I'm just really far off. And sometimes we can get in our head and think no news is bad news. We can start creating these own dramas in our head that aren't true or real. And so sometimes all you have to do is just drop in with your leadership and say, is there anything I could improve upon? Is there any goals that you would like for me to hit? Am I where you want me to be? And so I guess my question to you would be, are you where you want to be? Sometimes as we go into a new year, we're looking back at our careers, we're looking back at our friendships, we're looking back at our habits and saying, does this need to go with me where I'm going? And so I just wanted to check in today to say, I see you. We're in this together. Sometimes us who tend to fill other people's tanks need our own tanks filled as well. And if you're in that place, or maybe look back at the past few years and think, January through March, do I struggle in January? Because it seems like people have more of an attitude in January. People are more chaotic during January, and I don't know if it's because we've missed so much time from work that we feel like we have to prove something when we get back. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? What have you found to be challenging when you return to work after the holidays, and even in your relationships and in your family? And where do you find yourself struggling once you return? Do you hear that? That's the wind outside. Crazy. Our tanks need to be filled too, and don't go grasping for arguments. Don't go grasping to fight if you're feeling a little neglected or a little empty. Really work on yourself. I know for me, I have a workout routine that I do, and I'm not stopping that routine for anything because it is something that does keep my endorphins pumping. It keeps my brain chemicals in a good place and taking care of my body, y'all. Look at that. You gotta be proud of that. You gotta be proud of that. So that's one thing that I've been working on for the past few years, is just transforming my body and transforming my mind. And I believe where the mind goes, the body follows. And so this is a direct result of strength in my body coming from strength in my mind. And so what have you set out to do in 2020 and for the year? where you're struggling already, and if you've set out for like weight loss goals and things like that, and you feel like you've already fallen off and it's only January 7th, newsflash, it's not the end of the world. You can always pick back up and do it again. And I think sometimes setting ourselves up for failure, we set ourselves up for failure with, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do all the things, what's the one change you're gonna make? What's the one thing that you can do that you look forward to doing, and why do you wanna do that thing? And start there. If you need to add more water in, if you wanna get up earlier, get up 20 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier. Just don't get up at that same roll out of bed, kicking, screaming, running, everything's on fire because now you're running late. What's the one thing you can do? It doesn't have to be extreme. Or if you're like me, I just have to be extreme. I have to go crazy extreme, and that works for me. But if I can find out why I want to do it, it's usually better than what I want to accomplish. If I can find out why I want to accomplish it, what's the goal? Sorry about that. What's the goal of why am I wanting to do this to begin with? And usually that for me will get me moving where I need to go. So I'm rambling. I know I haven't had a lot of real content on the channel lately. I'm just here continuing to try to make a connection with you. As far as skin flushing goes, I am on my second period post birth control pills, and I'm still like right in that 32-day range. And I've been out of work for the past 2 weeks on and off. Not a lot of pressure, not a lot of meetings, not a lot of stimulations, but I'm not flushing. I don't think I flushed. I had a pretty intense meeting earlier today at work. And I don't think I was flushing at all. And if I wasn't thinking about it, which is the greatest thing ever. So skin flushing is going well. Again, birth control, just fucking birth control, you guys. Anyway, I hope you're having a great intro into the new year. And if you are feeling empty and alone, just know that you're not alone and that you will get through this. And maybe journal through this time as well. Journaling always really helps me get my thoughts out of my head and onto paper. And then I can almost have a conversation with myself, which is somewhat what I'm doing here on camera. I feel like it was necessary to do this here. And I feel like getting to release that oftentimes will bring relief to me as well. But we're gonna get through this. It's January. We gotta make it to March. Today's a great sunny, beautiful day. I'm doing this like you can see out my window. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's gonna be 52 degrees here in Nashville. It was 32 this morning. It's January. So I'm gonna soak this up. I've got all the windows open in the house, or the blinds open, and I'll probably open the back door and let the air come through and just go out there and sit in the sun for a little bit. But soak up the sunshine as well. Any kind of natural vitamin D that you can get in the sunshine, just let it soak in during these few months. Do that. So I will talk to you next time. I hope y'all have a lovely rest of the day, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel and just leave a comment below. I'd love to start a conversation with you and get to know you a little bit and talk to you about your January through March blues. See you next time, guys.